Well, welcome back, Ty.
Thank you. I'm glad I'm back. I would like to address the Green Bay Packers slander that was happening last week on the Back End Show.
Sure, have at it.
Fuck you, Jack Burke. We beat you.
Wow.
And I know that doesn't help the Packer slander that he was throwing out. You guys were partaking a little bit too, but he was really hitting hard on Packer fans. And then we beat them on that night.
Yeah, I don't really have a horse in the race, so
Yeah.
from afar, you guys aren't you're not very, very cordial fans, but that's just from a non-biased perspective.
Well, I was listening to it, then I DM'd him on Instagram because he actually recently followed me on Instagram. And so I thought to take that opportunity to DM him and say, I don't remember exactly what I said. I was probably something along the lines of like, suck my cock or something like that. Something really nice and, amicable. And then we beat them. And so that just speaks for itself.
So you're on cloud 9.
I'm on cloud 9. I'm back here to defend my stake and just really pumped in general. So
yeah, this is really bad for the Corp. I'll be honest, as a whole, it's never good when you have your employees fighting against each other.
Well,
and going at it. And I'm always here for promoting fun competition.
Of course.
But when it turns into producers DMing each other vulgar things, that's when I got to get HR involved.
Yeah.
Andrew.
See, I'm on the other side. I think great competition sparks higher caliber producing.
Okay.
So thus Ty's riding a little bit more confident after his Packers dub, dissed Burke as he deserved. And then he off air just told us a few things of how he just like leveled up as a producer to an extreme. So I think he's riding his high right now on a great wave.
Great point. I won't send out an email to HR today then. I was honestly getting ready to hit send after I saw those screenshots from Jack Burke of Ty's DMs to him and was like, see, this is why Packers fans are the worst. I was like, I might have to step in here.
Yeah, well, Jack is also the worst person to talk trash to, apparently, because I pulled it up, and I said, this is what I said. I said, I listened to every Back End Show, you cock, and I will destroy you. That's what I let out. And I actually sent a picture of me flipping him off. And then he said, haha, sorry, dude. And then I said, this week we're enemies. And he said, looking forward to see who comes out on top. And and then I just said, ha, and just sent an Aaron Rodgers gif. Then he said, remember what happened last season? And then something. He's like, haha, I like your mentality. Lots of season left.
Wow, Jack.
So
wow.
in pot,
Heaters.
I was trying to drum up some.
Stir in the pot.
Yeah.
He's giving you nothing.
Yeah. Haha, love your mentality.
Jack sometimes flatlines as a career path. He's just a flatliner.
Flatlines?
He's just a flatliner.
Yeah, he is a flatliner, dude. Yeah, he's pretty much the entire state of Arizona when it comes to almost anything, to be honest. Talking trash would be the first one. You said career path. That just comes out his life right away.
You're never going to get it anywhere, Jack Burke.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh. That's funny. He just, and we might have to cut this, but he, it's not bad, but he was just like, Declan, what would you think if I left for Central America for a couple months coming up here? And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, yeah, I'm thinking of just like going off grid and just going to like Guatemala or just somewhere and do some service work and come back and get a new job or something like that. And I was like, I'm in, dude. He goes, what do you think about that? I was like, you got to do it. Like, that sounds like a great idea. So Jack is, speaking of flatlining, going to be canceling the flatlining in his life.
That's like a quarter life crisis. I feel like a lot of people go through that. Maybe not a lot of people, but I feel like I've heard of that happening before.
Oh, yeah. It's like
your mid-20s, you're like, I can't do this.
It's like grad school comes up.
Yeah.
Like, should I go back to school? Should I do some service work? Do I change jobs? Do I move? Yeah. There's a bunch of, do I sell? There's a bunch of different variations. And I like it that way that Jack's looking at it. I think he will thrive in that situation.
Oh, yeah. Be of service to others. That's like Jack Burke's, that'll be on Jack Burke's tombstone. 100%. So. Got that going for him.
Right on, Jack.
Yeah.
Well,
he doesn't listen to every Back End Show, so we probably will never even have to talk about this unless he walks right through here as we're talking about him.
And then we'll walk him in and
and then he'll have to talk about it
and unpack it.
Yeah. So all right, we're in the clear there. Sorry, what were you gonna say?
I said we didn't see each other at all this weekend, the three of us. So I say we walk through how our weekends went.
Oh, good idea.
And Dak, I want you to start, please.
Oh.
Because I want to hear how our breakup tour event number 1 went.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. What is this about?
weird.
Speaking
So
of quarter,
So we
life
explained it
crisis,
on the back
Yeah,
end
I
show a
listened to
little
that.
bit. From your perspective,
Uh-huh.
what does the breakup tour mean?
Well, it sounds like, and seems pretty inevitable from like a college student's perspective, that you're just not going to live with your buddies anymore. And for me, I'm not close to that point in time. Like, we're looking at houses for next year, so like we still have another year at least left of like living together, just kind of in a frat house type environment, which is kind of what this place is like. And just it's cleaner, I would say. It's
Okay.
definitely cleaner, but you get those vibes. And it sounds like you guys are like finally growing up and becoming like proper adults and having to like go out. And from my perspective, at least, it sounds like you two knuckleheads are kind of like, no, we don't want everybody to leave. And everybody else is like ready to like get out of here and be like, yeah, we're ready to be like real adults. So that's what
That's
it
for your
seems like.
perspective. All right.
that's pretty.
I think that's fair.
That's pretty.
That's a good
yeah.
judgment.
Yeah, because I look at all my other roommates like Matt Herron and Matt Christensen, Jack Burke. It's very obvious that Matt Herron could live on his own and buy a house and do everything that he wants.
That's
yeah,
crazy.
apartment, whatever.
Apartment, whatever
Yeah.
he wants. Matty C, like similar situation, but I also kind of feel like he'd want to still live with us. And then same with Jack Burke. So Matt Herron was the one who really just like dove in right away and was like, "What do you guys think about?" Or he told our Uber ride, like I had said last
That's
week.
so
like,
awkward.
it was so funny. It was so funny.
But someone has to bring it up.
Yeah, so now we're just throwing parties every week. Allegedly every week, and we're just calling them the breakup tour. And then I send out a calendar invite with the breakup tour week, whatever, and then whatever activity we're going to be doing.
And this was the first week.
And this was the first
This
week.
Friday.
And it was an absolute hit. I sent out a calendar invite on Thursday, and I said, we're going to be doing a Mexican style potluck at our house Friday afternoon, or evening, I should say. And we crushed. Everybody, texted me, hey, what should I bring? I had a list of things. I said, so-and-so's bringing this. So-and-so has 7 pounds of taco meat. We need sour cream. We need cheese. And it worked out phenomenally.
Margaritas, crumbs, or the limes brought, because I saw on the text trail at least 7 times like who's got the limes.
Yeah, I
And
said
everyone was volunteering. However, did it work out?
Yeah, so I had to lay down the law there because it's like that stupid rule or theory where it's like it's always used for like 911. Like when you see something bad happen, you assume that someone else is gonna call 911, and everybody assumes that, so then no one actually calls, and then whatever happens. So, I had seen a lot of rumblings with this lime talk, and I threw right in the group message. I say, if no one brings the fucking limes, we're not doing this thing. And I showed up. So I was very serious about it.
Yeah.
And the limes were brought.
But the limes were brought. Yeah. Austin Yoakum stepped up. It was a phenomenal event. I was able to make my margaritas with the Coronas dumped in the there, and it was phenomenal. Went very well.
Okay, so you have the breakup tour week 1. So
Yes.
like, does somebody leave now? Like, is this like a survival island where like now somebody like that was their goodbye party? Or
Yeah.
What was really funny from my perspective, so I wasn't able to make breakup tour event number 1. I went home for the weekend, and it was really funny seeing all the people that didn't initially get the invite asking to also join the breakup tour because they're ready to break up and move. So we had a whole nother house join. That you could sense the tension between that bunch. Where it was like, all right, we need to adult as well.
Yeah.
And then the ladies showed up, and you could sense they were ready. They were like,
they just started living together.
Exactly.
Like
so,
they had just moved into their new house, and they were also on the breakup tour right away. Added them to the calendar invite, which was so funny because now I have like 18 emails on this breakup tour calendar invite. All I have to do is send it out every week. So stoked about that. But Andrew, you don't really know this yet, but while we were at the breakup tour week 1, one person has to be the broken up person every week.
Okay.
So you were week 1 because you just weren't there. So we're like, oh, Andrew.
Nice.
Yeah. So like when people were showing up, like, oh, hey, where's Andrew? We just all lied and said Andrew moved home. He ran out of money, couldn't afford it. So we're paying his rent, and he moved home. And like we got every single person bought into that right away. For a good 5 minutes.
It's weird that you brought that up because while I was home, I was thinking I should move home and break up with these guys. It was, I don't know if you were just sending things like some weird vibes from the whole group. There was a lot of tension in my head, and I was like, all right, I just should, get my belly fed by my mom.
Yeah.
Be chilling.
It's a two-way road, man. I was thinking the same thing. I was like, wow, he's probably loving it at home. No problems there.
Okay, so one person every time. And we have 17 people?
I made the number up. It's in the teens for sure. But yeah, so then we decided I don't know what week 2 will be yet entirely, but I do know what like week 4 or 5 will be already, which is very exciting. Matt Herron's birthday is coming up, and for
What
those,
day is that again? We always forget.
I don't know. It's like something sometime in September.
Yeah,
But
15 or
yeah, sure, whatever. Happy birthday, Matt. But we're throwing a bar mitzvah / quinceañera for Matt Herron, and that's super disrespectful to put bar mitzvah and quinceañera in the same title for a party, but we're doing it. It's a breakup tour.
Yeah, we'll get in trouble. We'll get canceled for it, and we know the ramifications. But we're going for it because it's gonna be
We do know
because those parties are awesome.
Yeah,
I've never had a chance to attend either of them, but I see from movies and stuff that everyone seems to have a great time.
Yeah,
so I want to enjoy it.
It's a 2-for-1 deal here.
Yeah.
So like from a serious perspective, are you guys like actually breaking up? Like it sounds like you guys are just the catalyzers of the conversation, which I think is great because it's a hard conversation to have. Of like, what are we doing for a living situation? Even for me, who I'm going to live with my same 4 roommates next year, we're just going to move to a house. It was like pulling nails, having to talk about like, okay, we should go start touring houses and stuff like that. So it's always a hard conversation that one person has to initiate. So it's great that you guys are initiating it, but are people actually leaving here?
I mean, we don't really know where we would live. None of us really know, again, besides maybe Matt Herron, where he's going to be in May of next year. So we're just addressing it of like, hey, do we all want to live together? We all said no, so now we're throwing the breakup tour.
Oh, it was like just decided that you don't want to live together anymore?
No, but like we're telling everyone we said no, but really we all said yes. Like we all do want to live together again. We just don't know where that's going to be. So, yeah.
Okay.
Are you any more confused or on board?
No,
with
I'm with it. I mean, it sounds like you guys don't have it figured out. So
Yeah, it sounds.
No, we don't.
There is nothing getting done so far in the breakup tour.
Mm-hmm.
But
besides the parties.
Besides, there is going to be a tour. We have to tour, and through that, like camaraderie.
Yeah.
I'd say we'll figure out if we want to stay together. There'll be, that one person that just fades out because they're tired of the tour, and we'll just have to bring in someone else at that
Can't
point.
handle the tour life.
Yeah, can't handle the tour life. It's a grind. You're bouncing around. You got all these things going on. You got to clean up every time. So
I will say the cleaning up, it was tough this weekend. We went through every single plate, bowl, fork, knife, everything in this house after feeding a lot of people.
And to put in perspective, we don't have like 5 of each things like a normal house should. We have 45 of each. Tiny bowl and big bowl, salad bowl, bread plate, meal plate, fork, knife, a Tupperware, you name it, all under the ownership of Matt Christensen. And when when people come over, they're going to use it all because it's there. So now we have to do all of those dishes, and that's just unfortunate.
Yeah, it sucked. I did the dishes because we threw another party on Saturday for the college football games, and they made jambalaya for everybody because it was LSU's first big game against Texas.
Yes,
which was a great game. But I made jambalaya for everybody. So then again, it was like after I had done all the dishes for this potluck on Friday, did all the dishes, put them all away, and then by the time 5 o'clock came around again, everybody was grabbing all 45 plates and knives and eating jambalaya. Yeah, salad bowls. It's nuts.
You name it.
There's just beer cans everywhere, too. It's a riot. It's fun. So biggest improvement between breakup tour, week 1 and week 2, trash bags and paper plates.
And take out your the recycling in preparation. We need to do. Yeah, we need to do the breakup tour event after the recycling has come on Thursday.
Yeah, that's a predecessor to even being able to throw the party. And so we need people to hold us accountable saying, hey, it's Thursday, trash recycling day, you guys on it? Because if we aren't, we're going to have to move locations.
Because our recycling is exploding.
It's exploding. Busting out the seams. Busting. So
overall, you threw 2 events and successful. You were the party organizer, the party executor, and
judge, jury, and executioner.
From then, and you felt like you did a great job. You didn't need me.
No, I would have preferred to have you there. It was definitely there were times where it got ugly for sure. But no, everything, no broken items, nothing crazy. The hospitality probably could have been a little better. The organization could have been a little better. And I think that's where you could have stepped in and really executed. So
Okay.
I thought I was like scotch free Saturday, so I went out Saturday night. Somehow ended up in my bed at 2:30 like a.m. Tucked myself in bed, everything. Wake up the next morning, moderately hungover, not a big deal. Go through my whole day, and I'm like, wow, like I don't remember a thing from like midnight on. Like I'm so shocked that I'm in the situation I am. And then I'm going to buy Lincoln drink tickets. I flip open my wallet, and my debit card's gone.
Ugh.
And I was like, oh no, what happened?
Didn't close out the tab.
No. So then the story gets crazier. So then I go open my Wells Fargo app, which I hadn't done since August 4th. It said I hadn't opened and looked at my bank account
In a month.
In a month. And so I go through like the transactions from Saturday. It just shows like a bunch of drink spot, and then all of a sudden
$6, $10,
$6, $14, whatever is
21. Oh wow, I must have
21.
bought some people some shots.
Whatever, yeah, you just never know. But then I was like, whoa, I went to Soho Cafe and I spent like $25 at
Couple
Soho.
pieces of pizza.
I was like, God, I was dining in at Soho Cafe at 2 a.m. Like I must have just had an absolute feast. But I was like, wait a second, how would I have spent like? How would I have used my debit card, which I should have left at the bar? Drunk Deck would have just left it at the bar. Now I'm seeing that I paid for stuff at Soho Cafe, which is a restaurant, but I don't have my card in my wallet.
This doesn't add up.
So jury's out.
Oh, there's no end to the story.
There's no end to the story. I really don't know where it went, so I just canceled it. No, I got a new one coming my way.
Sherlock Holmes canceled.
Didn't even try to look for it. I was like, it's probably like under my bed, dude. I swear to God, it's probably like in my pocket or something stupid. I just like freaked out. I was just like,
Yeah,
wow.
you're sitting on your phone at that moment, and you're just like, canceled.
I was like, I'm not even gonna try, dude. Whatever.
Just no motivation, heads throbbing, canceled.
Cancel. I'm like so sick of this. I was like, I was so close. I thought I won. I spent all day Sunday recovering from my hangover, only to find out Monday morning that I lost. Oh well.
Man,
Every day I have a chance to win. How was your weekend?
my weekend was great. I get this. I went to my nephew's, or he's my cousin, but he's 4.
Okay.
It's my uncle's second wife's kids, and Ben, or no, he's first grade, whatever age that is, but he's playing flag football.
4?
Yeah.
Not first grade. It's not even kindergarten.
What's first grade?
8
6?
years old.
No.
Yeah, 6, 7.
Maybe he's not in first grade.
Okay.
He's tiny, dude.
Maybe
First grade,
he's
you got.
a small first grader.
He's tiny, but he's wearing these little mini cutters and he's playing flag football.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, I never played flag football because my parents didn't let me. There was no way. They were like, "You're not gonna play tackle football until 6th grade." I was like, "All right, it's fine by me." So I just played in the backyard, and flag football is amazing. Just like the little kids trying to organize them and run routes and stuff.
Yeah.
I won't let my kid play, but I will walk past the park and laugh. And this amazing in like the worst ways. Just nothing good going on.
Mm-mm.
I mean, they are getting organized and they're competing a little bit, so get them out there and get them fighting. But man, not a lot of strategy. It's just like they get forever to throw the ball. There should be a 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi blitz all out run at this quarterback because he's just taking his sweet old time in the pocket, and that's not a good lesson to learn. You don't have that kind of time as a quarterback.
Right.
And
These kids are soft. God.
and then the misdirection, because they have all the time. Like they ran probably like 4 fake reverses before they ended up handing the ball off on the 5th one. And then all the kids are like bumping into each other, and it's amazing. And then the kid ran 50 yards to go in the end zone, and he's like so small. He's moving his legs so quick, but he's not going anywhere. I don't know. I hadn't been around that young of kids in a long time, just because we're up here just doing our thing as 23-year-olds. Like, when are we going to interact with small children?
That's a great point.
And it was the funniest thing I have experienced. I'm just sitting there as I'm picturing myself as a dad, because shit, that could be me in 6 years, 8 years. And I'm like, oh my God, this is a little overwhelming.
This is a nightmare.
This is a nightmare.
I have to plan my work schedule around this in 6 years.
Kids are running off, grabbing Capri Suns and just
Oranges.
inhaling them and running
Yeah.
back out there. Oh my God.
I used to ref flag football in high school.
Oh my god.
4 years straight. I know the rules, man.
I had this thought, like there was the refs out there. I'm like, man, why would these guys pick this one? You can ref all the sports, but you picked this one?
Yeah, it was just right up the street from my house. It was the easiest. It was convenience, honestly. And dude, you know how you mentioned yourself being a father, watching your kid playing this janky little sport. Well, imagine yourself being a father getting mad at the referee of this janky sport.
Ooh.
Happened to me all the time. Just dads getting pissed off that these kids weren't following the rules or whatever.
Yeah.
And you know me, dude. I was just like, not like everything's not a big deal in flag football, 8-year-old flag football. Like I was causing problems.
Yeah, you should have been a little more stricter. Or
Yeah, no, I was not laying down the law whatsoever. And I just loved like the little kids trying to talk with their mouthpieces in. I think that's like one of my side favorite things about just kid sports in general.
Sure.
Phenomenal.
Hilarious.
And then I went that same night. I went to see my uncle coach high school football. He's the winningest coach in Illinois history.
Oh yeah, I think I remember you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Dominant. And they did not get the dub, but it was better than watching the flag football. It was good competition.
That's good.
Then I spent all Saturday on my ass watching every single college football game with my younger brother and my dad, which is phenomenal. Bet on almost every single game. Did not do well this weekend, but there's more opportunities out there. And then
that's why you won last week.
Exactly. So I can lose this week and then win again next week. And then the NFL, I did the same thing on repeat, and I just hung out in my house all day and played ping pong in the pool against Madge and kicked his ass, and that was it. It was a pretty relaxing weekend.
Sounds amazing.
Mm-hmm.
You got fed a bunch.
Fed. Oh my god, I brought home so much food because my mom just made
That's the best.
so much.
Moms are the best like that.
Yeah. Well, she made, I guarantee it was 40 waffles, and I'm like, Mom, how are we gonna eat all these? And she's like, Oh, you can take them home. And I'm like, you're right. You're absolutely right. How about we make another batch? And
I didn't even think of that.
I didn't think of that. Yeah. So it was awesome. And then we had Cooper's Hawk and feasted on that.
Classic.
Yeah. It's a good weekend. And I drove home today, and we're doing this back-end show.
Here we are. Should have done it standing.
Should have done it standing because I actually made it back in record time, and it was pouring rain. Like there was a few times like it was like, have you seen Talladega Nights and remember the scene with the Fig Newtons on the dashboard? All right, I'll replay it real quick for you.
Yeah.
So I'm driving, and the rain is just like all you can see is brake lights hitting in front of you every so often.
That's so awful.
And you're just like guessing. But I'm like, fuck it. I'm riding 75, and I am on record pace. I cannot slow down. So I see brake lights, and I just release off the gas, and then it like slows down. So I'm not touching my brake lights. So I'm going ghost mode for the person behind me.
That's so
And
awful.
I know, but I was like, as long as I'm moving, I feel like I'm good. It's only going to be the person in front of me. No one's going to catch up to me, I think. And this is what's going through my head. And then to make the reference with the Talladega Nights, it's like he's got the Fig Newton sign covering the full dashboard, and he's just sitting there. He's like, this is awfully dangerous, but I sure do love Fig Newtons. And I'm just sitting there.
I love that part.
Yeah, and I'm just sitting there like picturing that scene. Like I can't see jack shit. It's basically like Fig Newtons are sticking a full Fig Newton sponsored logos on my dashboard, and I'm just like underneath, like bobbing and weaving, trying to figure out if there's cars in front of me. And I made it back in 5 hours and 17 minutes when it should take you 6 hours.
Oh, that's some serious time shaving.
I was pumped.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Imagine if it was nice out.
Imagine if it was nice out, but I honestly think it helped me. I don't know why it would help me, but
I don't know.
I just
I
saw
don't either.
adversity and I stepped on the pedal.
Love that.
So I'm here, and it was a good weekend. Ty, how was your weekend?
That's a great quote. I need to Declan, remember that? 27 minutes. When I see adversity, I just step on the pedal, dude. That's a quote.
That's a quote.
Ty, what's up, dude?
My weekend was all right. Another first weekend back in school.
Ooh.
Actually, you know what? Let's just get to the average quality.
Jesus Christ.
I'm kind of done. we talked a lot about the weekend already. It's like, oh god,
this guy. But I actually am excited.
I'm excited to hear
let's
this.
hear
Yeah,
it.
this is
Let's
highly
hear it.
anticipated.
Yeah.
So we had to ease our way back in, of course.
Mm.
And so there weren't a lot of plans coming into Friday afternoon. And
Okay, but hold on. When are there ever plans going into Friday?
Sometimes like a friend will be like, oh yeah, I know like a mutual friend of mine is having a party, or like I'm having a party, or like something like that.
Mm.
There's a vague outline, and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
I could see myself there.
It's like a place to go. You're
Mhm.
like, okay, if like all else falls through, like I have a place to go. And that there wasn't really anything materializing like coming in on Friday, and I wasn't super involved. Like all my roommates have Fridays off of class, and I do as well, but I'm working down at Thomson Reuters, so like I'm putting in the hours, and so I come back up and like I'm ready to go for the weekend, and they're like, oh, we really don't have many plans, and I'm like, oh well, just hang out, we gotta ease ourselves back into the weekend. Well, then like probably at like 7:30, one of our friends was like, oh, we're having people over tonight, and they have a nice large apartment, like one of the largest college apartments I've ever seen. And so when they have people over, it's like it's a good amount of people. So I'm like, okay, great.
And you're 21 for the first time in college.
And I'm 21.
Proud of you.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I made it.
You
I'll make it again in January, but
exactly.
Yeah.
You turned 21 twice?
Yep.
Oh shit,
It's
that's
really
dope.
cool. Yeah. Well, whatever. It's whatever. Anyway, so 7:30, so a little later to the start of the evening than I would have liked, but we're throwing down some drinks, and then we realize that there's a university event going on where there's free snow cones. So we decide to go free snow cones and like unlimited free snow cones, and so we get like we each have like a few snow cones, just dousing with syrup. We also pour some adult style beverages into the snow cones, really spice things up. And so we're really getting ready to go for the night. We then go to like a pregame, and there our roommates are this year rooming with a foreign student from the Netherlands. So I spent the next 2 hours just picking this guy's brain.
Is his name Hans by chance?
No, his name is like David, but we call him David. So it's a little
suitable.
playable. Yeah.
Yep.
So I just spent the next probably 2 hours just picking his brain.
Recording a podcast with him, huh?
Yeah, basically. But instead, I was just asking him about the differences between America and the Netherlands. Also, did you know Holland's not a country?
Yeah.
Really? I didn't know that. He's from Holland. It's a province of the Netherlands. I always thought it was a country.
I guess I didn't know that specific detail. I just knew Holland was like a pseudo type. Like you just call it that. Like you call New England.
Yeah.
That's what I thought too. I thought Holland
was like
was another name for
conglomeration
Netherlands.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
Okay. Well, it's a province of the Netherlands. Anyway, so I spend the time picking his brain. Then we go to this party. It's a great time. But then like some of my friends just start getting like picked off, and they're just like puking. It's like a mess. All of a sudden it gets like oh no. And I'm like, I don't really want to deal with this. So me and David and like one other guy, we leave, and he's like, do you guys want to go smoke cigars? And I'm like, yes. And so we go to Dinkytown. We roll up to this like cigar shop that's open to like 3 a.m. run by a nice Indian man. And we roll in. He buys us all some Dutch honeys, is what they were called.
David knows what's best.
David knows what's best. They're like $2 cigars. They're cigarillos basically. And so we stand outside Dinkytown, and we just smoke these cigars, and we see the sights to see in Dinkytown at like 2 o'clock in the morning. And there are quite a few
some
sights
zombies.
To see. Yeah, no, I mean it's like insane. Like there are people. There was this chick blowing fire. Like she had like a little thing, and then she like must have put some in her mouth and just went, and like it blew fire, and I like felt the heat on my face. It was insane.
Oh, they were close. It wasn't from like afar. You saw this woman doing this activity,
and they're all gathered outside like the cigar shop or like the smoke shop.
It was the nightly entertainer. They hired her.
Yeah, and there's this dude banging on a guitar, like he was playing it like a drum, and then also strumming it, but then mostly banging it like a drum. And that was it. Then I went to Burger King and had a spicy chicken sandwich for $1.09, and then I went to bed by like 3 o'clock.
Damn.
That's
sick.
Yeah.
Did you get the fire breather's information?
I didn't. That would be a cool like. She should pull up to the party next time.
Exactly.
Like,
we need her at every event.
At every.
I've never
no
seen a
event
fire
is complete
breather
without a fire breather, and apparently like she does that. Like that's her thing. Like,
yeah, that's her thing.
She
Everyone knows her as the fire
She
breather.
stands in Dinkytown and just breathes fire.
Yeah, that's phenomenal.
Insane.
Oh,
Sounds
Dinkytown specifically too.
Sounds like something you would see like in a window of the apartment in Dinkytown.
Yeah.
Just like someone doing that in their bathroom.
Yeah, and then also outside the cigar shop, there's like this Christian group just handing out waters at like 2:30 in the morning.
Oh, good.
Which is,
hydration station.
Yeah, which is great because it's a cheap cigar. So
I bet you it was
sucking
Crown
them.
Royal sponsored. Have you seen those commercials? The Crown Royal water breaks.
No. Oh yeah. I have. Okay, that's it.
Yeah.
I will say there have been some great commercials for this first NFL week.
I'm trying to think of any good ones.
Did you love Tide? Is that
I loved the Tide commercial.
I knew you did.
That is just
Which
genius.
one was that?
It was on Sunday night.
When they do back-to-back commercials, and the first one is Peyton Manning saying, we're moving Laundry Sunday to Laundry Tuesday, so it doesn't get in the way of Sunday night football games.
Okay.
And then the next commercial is like some show that is
The Voice.
The Voice or something. that's on Tuesday nights, and they're like, we can't have Laundry Tuesday be on Tuesday nights. That's when The Voice is. So then they were like, yeah, we got to move it back to Laundry Sunday. So now there's 2 hashtags going, Laundry Tuesday, Laundry Sunday, which I think is great marketing.
And Tide's trending.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Who owns Tide? Is it Johnson & Johnson
Is
or
it P&G?
P&G? Both of those.
Might be P&G.
Okay, I couldn't remember the names of like the overarching companies. Both of
Might be
those
Procter & Gamble.
spend. Oh, could be Procter. No, it is Procter & Gamble.
Okay.
They spend the most amount of money on Facebook ads. That company than any other
That's
company.
crazy.
Yeah.
Do you think that they do like supplement their? Are those like standalone ads, or are those
P&G.
like supplement? It was P&G.
Mm-hmm.
Are those like standalone ads, or are those supplemental to like, or is it kind of both?
I don't understand the question.
The good question is like, are they now putting out Facebook ads about like Laundry Tuesday?
Oh, I bet you they're following up with that. Yeah, but before that, they were spending on everything. Like you probably didn't even.
Sure.
You probably weren't even getting targeted. Maybe a little bit.
Yeah.
As a college student, but they're hammering the parents with,
Yeah.
hey, make sure you know that Tide's best or all that other stuff.
Wait, I thought they were hammering little kids.
I don't know who they hammer.
Sorry, I can't go on air saying just that, but
I thought
they were hammering.
Dude.
I thought they were
Tide hammers little kids.
Tide hammers little kids, dude.
Headline grab. Declan's done for life.
Yeah, Declan's done.
I mean,
Declan says Tide hammers little kids. And just me.
No, they did have one. I think one of the best commercials, probably 2 years ago in the Super Bowl, where they're like, "This is this a Tide ad?" Do you remember that campaign series? Where
I think so.
I don't remember what the first commercial. It was like a first commercial. I think it was like with Joe Buck and Troy Aikman, and they like faked lead. They fake like led it back into a game, and you were like, it was pretty obvious like it was not the game, but they brought up like, oh, no, this isn't the game. This is a Tide ad. And then there was like another ad where you thought it was like they made it personally look like a car ad or something like that. And they're like, no, this is a Tide ad. And then for every other commercial, you're like, this is a Tide ad. Like, is the punchline gonna come? And maybe it happened one more time, but you just kept thinking like, is this a Tide ad? Is this a Tide ad? It was genius.
They got a good marketing team.
That was kind of my point. Is I just like really love the creativity that goes behind some of this stuff as dudes in a room who try and get people to think about what you're doing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
It's very fun. Wouldn't you just love doing that if we just had to create ads like and had a whole full production team and like it was a blank canvas, you could do anything.
Oh, it'd be
and just
incredible.
film those. That'd be so much fun.
Yeah.
God, great.
One day.
One day. We're getting there. We're close.
We're working towards that.
Yeah. Every day.
Every day.
Should we hit average qualities?
Sure, man. Start us off.
Ooh. Oh man, what was my average quality? Oh, my average quality is the time zone thing with sending calendar invites out to people.
Yeah.
Just actually now getting in a rhythm. Now that we have a schedule of like, okay, Ty's on Monday, I just need I've now started reaching out to people and trying to get them. So what my issue was when I would reach out in my initial pitch, I'd give them a time and a day, which if they never responded, I'm now like sitting waiting on them to respond to that time. So I can no longer use that time. So then if I hit the next person up and now he's restricted. So I was cucking myself essentially by giving the timeout. So now
you'll self-cuck.
I know, nothing worse than self-cucking yourself on your own podcast. That's a quote.
Hey, good self-awareness though, man.
Yeah,
this is
I
big
figured it
improvements
out
because we need. I think that's just better. That's more efficiency.
Yeah. So, but then Decky got risky.
Oh.
So I would then DM people and give them the time, and if they weren't responding, I gave like 3 days for this one guy. See, I'm not gonna say his name, but
Don't say his name.
didn't
Smart.
hasn't responded
or her.
This person hadn't responded, and I was like, God, we need a person. We're running out of time here. So I just hit up another person and booked that time.
Yeah.
And this other guy hasn't even responded yet. So who knows? We may be double booked.
Joke's on him.
Joke's on him.
And then you pivot.
What if we ran 2 podcasts at once? Like you were asking questions to this person and Deck was asking questions to this person. That's in my seat.
And then it crossed.
And then switch. But the conversations were happening at the same time.
I think that could work as long as we have different headphones.
Yeah, well, you might have to change the output, but
that would work.
I think it would.
Because I
definitely
double efficiency.
That would be hilarious.
That'd be so
That'd be
funny.
crazy.
What if we just did
I don't
a
think we're
group
smart
podcast?
enough for that.
I know, but I love this idea. It would be amazing.
It'd be really funny.
I don't think we're smart enough.
The banter wouldn't be there. Or is it? Then the person has to wait and then it plays like little elevator music in the
In the-
podcast while that person's waiting for the next talking point.
It's time for your next question. I'm just like, hey.
There'd be a huge imbalance because Deck is a lot longer winded than Andrew is sometimes. So
Yeah, I'd be sitting there waiting like,
somebody would be waiting. Yeah. Yeah.
You're like, God, for fuck's sake, Declan, it's been 30 minutes.
yeah.
All right, dude, what's your average quality?
My average quality was remembering how my house was set up. So my mom got a bunch of renovations done, not like structurally inside the house, but like just like moving things around
Okay.
and getting new wallpapers and random shit like that. And she's like, go grab me something like this. And like I run downstairs and like to go grab it or something. And I'm like standing on there. I'm like, I have no idea where this is. And then there's like 4 different closets. I'm like, all right, checking all of them. And then I end up like screaming, Mom, where the fuck is whatever you said that? So that is a big average quality. And with that also, when I wake up in the morning, I need to see right away with glasses or contacts. And I left him in the bathroom the first night, and I walked out of my bedroom and just like fell, stubbed my toe. It was a whole thing, and I'm just like, what the hell is going on? I don't even know where the turns are in the morning when it's dark out. It was a fiasco. I need a new blueprint to the house.
Yeah, did she send you the drawings over or the recent additions?
She thought I was kidding, and I was like, Mom, I'm not. I don't remember. It's not something I keep in my memory bank.
Did you grow up in that same house your whole career?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Career.
Yeah.
Well,
Life.
And I think I remember you telling me this last time I went home. It started as like a much smaller house, and then your parents made renovations as you guys grew up.
Yeah, it was like an unfinished basement and only 3 bedrooms, and then they added a 4th bedroom, and they made it a basement, and then they extended the house in the back to make a longer living room.
Thank God you were home then. Imagine if your mom just added a whole nother sector to the house.
Gosh,
It was like, this is the game room now. You'd be like, jeez.
love this. Why didn't we?
Thanks, Mom.
Yeah. Why didn't we have this in high school?
Yeah, right. Dang, that's nuts. That's nuts, dude. Well, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you can see. At
I know.
least.
I can see.
That's a start.
My other average quality, real quick, was my gambling habit. I mentioned that already, but
Yeah.
I gotta be more.
You just got to win more. I think that's what you got to do.
Gotta be more better.
Yeah, better would be helpful. I think I just got to play better lines. Stop being like, oh, this one will work. I got to play the ones that I'm confident in, instead of just being like, I really just want to watch the Hawaii against Arizona game, and at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
put money on it because that'll make it entertaining. I gotta stop that.
Hey, I think there's plenty of people that were yelling, listening to you right now. Like, when someone needs to get a hold of Andrew's like addiction, but dude, just bet more games that you feel more comfortable about. Yeah.
I think that's the move.
I think you'll be just fine. Your money will take care of
And
itself.
stay away from the NFL,
Never bet on the NFL.
except if you do a money line parlay. I think there's
No, there's nothing there.
there's value.
There's
there.
nothing
I'm
there.
gonna try that one again next week, and if I go over 2, then I'm out.
No, we're not. No, we're not doing that next week.
Because I did a 5-team money line parlay, and the only team that didn't win were the New York Jets, who had a 16-0 lead. That's a fluke. It's a fluke game. I'm gonna try it again.
That's not the rule. That's the exception to the rule.
Exactly. So Ty, what's your average quality?
My average quality, I think, would be just using like any sort of scheduler to keep track of my things going on. Like when you start class, it's always like a whole, like it takes me probably about 2 weeks to really get to not have to look at my schedule and remember what classes I'm going to. So I put into my Google Calendar what classes I have at what times and everything, and then I blocked in my times for working and stuff like that. And I always get super overzealous at the beginning of the year, I'll schedule out all my classes and all my when I work, and I'll schedule out you put the podcast on my schedule and I'll do all that, and then in 3 weeks it'll all be out the window, and it'll be I know when I have to do everything, and then something will fall through the cracks, and I'm like, oh, maybe I should start getting on scheduling things again in my Google Calendar. And it's just a reaffirming cycle of
no lead time, some lead time,
right,
last minute.
Yeah, so it's all kind of a mess, and half the time too, like I'll forget to turn off the notifications for things. So like it'll be 3 weeks, and I'm like, why am I still getting notifications that I have class? Like I know I have class right now, and so maybe I just need to turn those off. But yeah, that's my average quality, is just knowing what things I have to schedule and what things I don't, and actually like sticking to it.
But you always seem to get adjusted. It comes to a point where like, all right, maybe I should start getting organized, and then you do it.
Yeah.
You level up.
I think doing this will help me too, because I kind of rely on my Google Calendar for doing this sort of stuff that is more variable, so that'll probably help. But no.
All right, because we need you, man.
I know.
So if you need any help, we're here.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, you're a little less reliant on me now that you have the laptop, but
I know. We also leveled up.
good for you.
Yeah.
No, we just got back to right where we were.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's a good point.
We are now confidently
We were trying
able to record podcasts.
down and to the left.
Yeah, we were just crashing. There was no stabilizing and going down. It was just straight down.
We didn't see it. We just kind of like we're walking blindly, just like and just
Yeah,
black hole.
but we were sponsored by Fig Newtons. We just had no idea we were walking off a cliff.
Hey,
Put it that way.
do it for any sponsor.
Ty, I have a question for you. How far away are each one of your classes? Are they like you walk into
They're,
one
like, all
building?
in the same building.
Oh, they are.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty much. Except for because I'm taking mostly business classes, so they're literally all in one. They're mostly in one building, the Carlson School of Management, but one of them is in the adjacent building that's connected by a skyway. And I have a Spanish class that's kind of off in another part, but
yeah, because I like thinking of from your perspective, you were having a variety of classes that wasn't like just business or something like that. You'd probably be walking around everywhere, which it would take at that point I would understand why it would take 2 weeks to like get a grasp on your schedule and how long it would take to go places.
Honestly, I just like sometimes freak out that like that first week is always like, am I in the right class right now? Like it takes you about 10 minutes to realize like, oh, okay, like I'm actually supposed to be here. Because there have been times where people like just have to get up and like they're like, yeah, I'm in the wrong class, and that's like it's humiliating. I don't want to do that.
Yeah, you can't be that disorganized.
Right. Mm-hmm. You're like, that dude is fucked. Like he does not have his shit together at all.
Yeah, I've done that one time only.
Yeah, it's not a good look.
It's kind of just like, oh man, I'm not in the right class.
I'm paying $5,000 for this class, and I'm not even in the right one.
Yeah, I was like, I kind of like that one. Let's see how this other one pans out.
Yeah, it's like, oh man, I really wanted to take that one. It seemed like an easy class. That's great.
Oh, it's too good.
It's great though when like the professor like lets you know that you're not in the right class when you take attendance, and like you find out as a Brown, you find out very early and often if you're in the right class or not.
Oh yeah.
And then if you're dumb like me, you don't realize it till the very end, and then you're like, I gotta go. They're like, oh, is there anyone that didn't get called? And you're like, yeah, what's going on? Like, is this Theo 305? No,
it's not.
It's not. This is Buddhism. So,
yeah,
irrelevant,
but hey, it plays.
Whatever.
Sure. What did I learn? I learned. This is actually really funny. I watched the Pokemon movie when I was home because you gotta just fully absorb the childhood.
Like the
Detective
original one.
No, Detective Pikachu.
Like the new one with
Ryan Reynolds. Yeah, and it was awesome because
it's good.
Oh, it was awesome because you just got a bunch of Pokemon popping up and you're trying to remember what all their names are. And then there's the worst part was with all the new wave Pokemon that you're just like never heard of you, never even had a chance to see you. So you're like, you don't feel very relatable to those ones. But the ones that you do, like the Pikachus and the War Turtles and the Charmanders, all that jazz.
The Founding Fathers.
The Founding Fathers, Ditto, and the Lick guy. I couldn't remember his name, but I was like, I've seen you before.
I recognize his face.
That shit cracked me up. And I was watching it with Madge, and I had a great time.
It sounds like an electric time.
Yeah.
I love how you always triple down on childhood stuff when you're home in your original home.
Yeah, you just want to feel like a kid again.
Yeah, easy. You're getting fed. Mom's calling you for dinner.
Oh, it's money. Don't you always go home and play Wii tennis?
Yep, I always go home and play Wii Golf. Wii Sports Resort is the only Wii game that has both the original Wii Sports Golf front nine, and then it has the the back nine is the Resort 9.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, it's phenomenal. And I come home and play every like I go home probably once a quarter, so 3 or 4 times a year, and I get about 5 games of Wii Golf in. I was trying to beat my score of -13. Which is just a ridiculous score that I scored when I was like a sophomore in college.
Yeah, well, you have to be in your prime, I feel like, to beat that. Like,
Yeah.
You're not going to beat it just coming back 3 times a year.
And nobody else plays that Wii. Like, it does not get used. It collects dust every other time of the year, but when I come home, like, my mom's got the remote set out, I'm just ready to rumble at noon on a Saturday. Teeing off. And everyone,
times at noon, Mom.
yeah, and I'm like yelling out to everybody else in the house. I'm like, guys, I'm at -9 going into the turn. Be like, shut up.
Yeah.
No one cares.
Declan's playing golf again.
Yeah. Oh, classic,
Yeah,
dude.
that's awesome.
Funny.
So
Childhood.
much fun.
That's a good game.
That's what I learned, man. Pikachu, Pokemon.
Yeah, that's funny.
That shit's fun.
It's fun, dude.
It always will be.
Ty, what'd you learn?
I learned. So I'm in kind of this cool class. It's half a semester. It's called like management innovation, and it's taught by this like wild like entrepreneur type. It's like an entrepreneur class. Half semester. In 2 weeks, we take a canoe trip down the urban Mississippi River. So I assume we take it from somewhere around campus to like St. Paul over the course of 3 days. And, like we just camp out along the way, which is kind of crazy. And
Sounds like there's gonna be homeless people
I
around
know.
the area.
I know it is.
But it will be in the winter area, so it might be good.
So I don't know what that's going to be like. I'm excited for that.
Hold
But
on, a 3-day camping trip.
well, it's 2 nights, but we leave on on Friday the 20th.
It's coming up.
Yeah, it's coming up. Friday the 20th at like 4 p.m. and then we come back Saturday at like 3 or Sunday at 3 p.m.
All right, we'll
Wow.
definitely have you on the back end show after that one.
Yeah, it's gonna be wild.
Whoa.
And well, we had the choice too to pick between doing that. It's like a class of 50 people, and we had the choice between going on that trip or it's a 3-hour class once a week. And for one of the class periods, we just go to Eco Lab and like learn about their innovations or stuff like that. And I'm like, screw it, I want to go on that canoe trip. Like that's not something I'd ever do.
Yeah, I'm not going to
myself.
not going to go to the
Yeah.
building that I see every single day.
Right,
I
that'd be
can go
so
walk to.
boring. Yeah, it's like a corporate tour. Like, no, thank you. And the professor's like, well, I encourage you to stand up and talk to some of your classmates and see what they're doing. And like, I had this one girl to my left who was like super like hyper like business student college girl, and she was like, well, like we have a midterm like coming up on the 24th, and like it's just a whole weekend like gone, like we homework for other classes, and like I don't know how I'm gonna fit in my schedule. And like she's total like schedule everything out in her GCal.
So
kinda,
she's
kinda
Ecolab,
gal.
100%.
Yeah, and she's like, what do you think you're gonna do? And I'm like I think I'm gonna go on the canoe trip. Like I'll never, and I'm not even the type of person who's like very sporadic or like
Adventurous.
or adventurous. Yeah, like I'm not.
Those are your words, not mine.
Adventurous. Yeah, I guess adventurous. No, like I'm not.
There's
very,
another quote, dude.
I'm not very spur of the moment type of guy. Not that this is like spur of the moment. Like I have 2 weeks like to do it, but like I think maybe like 3 years ago I'd be like, oh, let's just do like the Eco Lab thing just because.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. But now I'm just kind of like that's not something I'm ever gonna do again probably. So like let's just do it. And so I told her that, and she's like, are you like really like you like, because I have a couple other classes, and she's like, we have like a final or like a midterm the next week, and it's like Wednesday of the next week. It's not even like Monday of the next week.
And Ty's like, yeah, dude. What?
Yeah, I got to be like the total badass. And then the dude to my right, he was trying to like play it off a little cool. He was like, no, it'd be like that's like a whole weekend like gone. Like it'd be so lame to like.
I want booze.
Yeah, basically. And I'm like, okay, like cool. So they were both going on the Eco Lab tour, but
Let's play Iowa this week, kid.
yeah, and most of the class was going to do that as well. So they I think there's probably gauging because he had everybody raise their hand, and the quick amount of people raising their hand, it looked like maybe like 12 to 15 people out of the 50 were going to go on the canoe trip, but
About 25%.
Yeah, I think it'd be fun. That wasn't even what I meant to be what I learned, but that was it. I learned that sometimes you just gotta say yes to some things that maybe you don't always want to say yes to,
And say no to the hyper scheduled girl to your right and the overly cool dude to your left.
I know.
Say no.
Find yourself right in the middle.
Yeah.
Find it right in the middle.
Just be that average
Wildly
guy.
average. Wildly
God,
average.
it's so on
Yeah.
brand, dude.
It's gonna be awesome.
Oh, nice.
Maybe I'll bring the hat on the trip, and I'll spread the word. I'll be like
That'd be
Spread the good
sick.
word.
I'll be like fucking Lewis and Clark, like just pillaging and maybe
dude.
not pillaging.
Oh, for
like,
sure.
Pilgriming.
Pillage something at least. Maybe an ant farm.
Start a cult.
Like,
Start a cult.
Whoa,
in the
dude.
woods in the urban Mississippi.
Yeah. What is the urban Mississippi? Is that a sewer line or?
No, I think it's just a part of the Mississippi River between the two cities, like between Minneapolis and St. Paul.
Oh, okay.
It's just that part of the Mississippi River.
Yeah.
You guys like that one? Urban Mississippi? I feel like that's a good.
That's what I was
Stick
picturing.
with that
I was
one, dude.
picturing something very dirty.
Yeah, you mentioned homeless people right away.
Yeah, no, that I mean, I think we're just parking or like camping in parks, like state parks that are found along the Mississippi River,
Okay.
and that's like a hotbed for homeless people to sleep.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna talk to. Is that next Monday?
Oh, dude.
The homeless guy?
No.
He
Oh,
did
well.
a documentary on
The wall.
what is that?
Hennepin. No. Oh man, this is tough.
It's the road you used to get to work.
I know. It's Hiawatha
Mm-hmm.
and Lake.
Yeah.
There's that homeless wall of all the tents where all the homeless people live.
Sure.
So there's this guy who
Oh,
did
yeah,
a
yeah.
documentary on
So we'll talk to.
that thing, and he's come on the podcast.
Really?
Yeah.
Where can I watch the documentary?
It's on his YouTube page.
Oh, so
Send-
I can just really?
Yeah.
Oh, send
He
that to me.
released it August 17th, I think, just fairly recently.
How long
Just
is
got
it?
done with it. I don't know. I haven't really looked much more into
Yeah,
it. I
send it
just
my way. I'll watch that.
read an article on it and then DM'd him.
That's
He's
We're
crazy
watching
cool.
that. We're watching the documentary this weekend.
Yeah, we're gonna watch it.
I love documentarians.
Mhm.
I know. That's exact. Like that was my first thought. Like, I want to interview one, and
Yeah.
I then Googled documentary in Minneapolis. He's the first one. So now here we go.
Oh, good SEO for that guy.
Yeah, great
Good.
SEO.
Great SEO. Nice, man.
Yeah. So what did I learn? I learned that there is such thing as a double plural. So
Yep.
Tide. Oh yeah,
Yep.
Tide. You already know this one, dude.
Yeah. Do you listen to Joe Rogan?
You listen to Joe Rogan,
You
or do you
listen to
just,
Joe
or you just
Rogan?
already know what a double plural is?
I don't know the double pro.
Okay, so easy example is saying the sentence, "There are a lot of fishes in the sea." Right? Doesn't make any sense. It should be. It sounds like it should sound there are a lot of fish in the sea. But within the sea there are different species of fish. Therefore, there's the double plural effect that makes it acceptable to say fishes.
Wow. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Do you have another example?
No, that was the one.
That
on
was
Joe
the
Rogan.
one.
Okay.
That was the one Neil
Joe-
deGrasse Tyson used.
Yeah, he
I haven't
said
listened to that
there's a
one
lot
yet.
of fishes in X area or whatever, and Joe goes, "I think it's fish," and I was like, "Yeah, I think it's fish too, Neil." And
I was like, he got him. He got him.
got
Yeah,
him,
we
'cause
finally,
Neil-
we finally got Neil.
yeah, because Neil is correcting everything all day long. Any podcast I've ever listened to him and he's on, he has to be right.
He's kind of pretentious.
It cracks me up, and that's why I love listening to him because he's got that voice and that laugh. Oh,
Yeah.
it's priceless. And Joe thinks he's got him on this one, and then Neil drops in, "Oh, you don't know the double plural?"
Oh.
And I'm just sitting there, just like, "Fuck! I thought Joe had him."
he got everybody.
Joe had
like
him.
that, yeah. Everybody that was listening thought they had Neil, and
Yeah.
he came
Yeah.
right
Didn't
back.
have him.
Yeah. So
No, I don't have any other examples, but
That's really interesting.
Can you think of anything?
No.
Nah, neither can I.
deers,
Yeah, I was gonna say any animal in which you don't say the plural version.
but
I don't know how many different kinds of deer.
it would have to. Yeah, the specific situation would have to be like an ecosystem or a plot of land where there's multiple species of deers. In that case, then it would make sense.
And they did bring that example up, and I think Neil or Joe shot. I think Joe shot it down. He's like, multiple types of species of deer don't hang out together.
Okay.
You'd only see one type of deer together.
Right.
So
Makes
that
sense.
deers is or whatever.
It's theoretical.
What
Yeah.
about? And you might not actually know enough to answer this question, but for
Challenge us.
okay, so for like a term, I'm thinking like goose or geese.
Mm.
Do double plurals apply to words that can already become plural? Like fish is fish if you're talking about one fish or multiple fish, but like can you apply a double plural to geese even though it's already plural? Like are there multiple geeses?
Oh, we'll have to find out on next episode of the Back
Ooh,
Pocket.
Yeah. Stay
we're
tuned.
gonna be.
Cliffhanger.
This is a great cliffhanger.
I'm taking a wild guess. No.
Geeses.
think
I would
it's just
think
like-
yes because
I feel like there's only one type of a goose. and it's
Dude,
that gross
just when
guy.
that's
you-
not what I'm arguing.
That's not what he's arguing, but
But
just when you think that
that
they
might have been a bad example, I think, because I
No.
think there is only one type of goose. Maybe not though. I don't know, dude. Screw this. Everybody got dumber.
yeah. Sorry, guys. I really derailed the podcast. I will say, though, I do appreciate our cadence between the three of us. We're very good at recording a 1 hour podcast.
Do we nail it?
Well, I mean, we're coming in at the 56, 57 mark, and
That's
like
ideal.
we do this every week. And I'm just saying, like, hey, this is sometimes mainly my fault for going over with podcast guests. But, when it's just us three, this is wheelhouse stuff,
We
gentlemen.
hit a stride.
We hit a stride. It's consistent. People love it, I think, and it's awesome. But feel good story. Do you guys have one? I have an idea of one.
I have an idea of one too, but you go first.
You go first, Jack.
So we got a lot of feel good stories today.
Mm-hmm.
This Saturday. So today's Thursday something. Upcoming Saturday, Joe Rogan's coming into town. We got tickets, and I'm stoked to see Joe Rogan for the first time at Excel Center.
That's huge.
He's doing
He's
stadiums.
doing stadiums, dude.
Good for him.
He's doing a Madison Square Garden in 2020.
Jesus.
Damn,
Mm-hmm.
that's dope. We're gonna go there too.
Sure.
He
says he's not releasing a special, and so the last special he released was this time last year. He says he's gonna wait another full year and then evaluate then, because he loves the content he's putting out right now, and he just wants to continue to do it without it getting saturated with a special. So that's why he's touring all these stadiums.
Honestly, that's gotta be so electric, because like it's so much more fun to like watch comedy with other people, and when you're watching comedy with that many other people, like that's gotta be insane.
That
like,
are there to laugh.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like these people are like, oh, I hate Joe, let's just go see how he's doing.
Oh, yeah.
It's an expensive ticket, and they're there to laugh, and they're all Joe Rogan minions. I went to see him in 2017 at like the Orpheum, so a smaller venue, and crushed. Had the whole place, but you could just like it's the meathead squad going out to see Joe. It's priceless. And then like the girlfriend that just gets dragged along.
That probably doesn't know who Joe is.
Yeah. So I'm excited. That's a good feel good story.
Yeah.
How about you, Ty?
I was going to talk about Miles Biggs. I think that's kind of cool. I was talking about it with him on my podcast, How They're Here. Rate and subscribe.
Yeah, season 2.
Season 2.
We have just an onion worth of lots of layers to this feel good story.
Yeah.
Your season 2 is now kicking off. How They're Here. Definitely go subscribe.
Please.
Did you have a typo? It said season 2, episode 14. I know you recorded 13 episodes in season 1, but now it just jumped to 14.
Yeah, I just said fuck it, and we're just going to keep the episode tally going, and you'll just know it's a different season.
I like that.
Wow, okay.
Screw everybody that
Sweet.
doesn't like that. I actually made a mistake and put season 1, episode 14, and then Miles corrected me. He was like, hey, you did this. I had to change it quick.
He was on it. He was on it with us with some things that we've done in the past too. Like, hey,
he's good. He's good. Like, kind of like letting you know. I'm like, okay, thank you.
I love that.
Yeah. So anyway, I was talking
Rate
to
and
him.
subscribe.
Rate and subscribe, please. It's been great. I thought the the response has been good, fantastic, great. I love everybody that listens, and we are a small collective, but we are a passionate one. So it's been a lot of fun.
It sounds very culty, but
kind
of like a mini Joe Rogan coming up, sort of. From
the rumblings are there.
It certainly are. But no, Miles and I talked today, and I think it's just really cool. And I hope he touches, or that you guys touch on it on the episode that you're going to record with him after this.
And which will be released on Tuesday.
Okay, cool. Great. Anyway, that I think he is an embodiment of sort of the magnetism of like Minneapolis, and that he tapped into like Minneapolis really well, and kind of all the people that like have things going on here, and he felt so like just moved by the type of people that were out here that he wanted to fly out here and attend like Lincoln Drink, which I think is sort of the culminating event in the area of all of these types of people that like
he's interviewed everyone that goes to Lincoln
Drink.
Drink.
Interviewed everybody, and like all these people that like you guys know, and that like I'm starting to know and stuff like that. They all go to Lincoln Drink, and that he felt like so like behooved to come out here and like attend it. I think is kind of like a testament to the sandbox that like you guys have helped build and stuff like that, which I think is really, really cool.
That's very cool.
I'm excited for Miles.
I am too.
Yeah,
he's one of those guys that like he's like the perfect marketing intern spot. Like he knows like everything about this and like the whole area. So like he's to the point like when we talk about like guests that like maybe aren't the best on podcasts, that from time to time they'll be short with answers and they're just not comfortable talking. Like he's the complete opposite. Like he has a podcast of his own, so should be an electric episode. High expectations.
Ooh, God. And speaking of that, the day before of Miles is Coach John Tower, which you're not going to be there to produce it, but our companion Bears fan Jack Burke will be. That one in itself is going to be a very fun episode that we've had in the books for about 2 months now.
It's been on the calendar for a while.
Yeah, so that's going to be electric, and then obviously we'll be back for Back and Show 29.
No, that's this one, dude.
What?
Right?
This is 29.
Correct.
Probably. Back and Show 30.
30.
We're on 30 already.
Yeah, the James Conner episode.
The James Conner episode, and it will be the release.
Curry.
The Steph Curry, and it'll be the release of the next example of a double plural. So get excited for that.
Oh yeah, I forgot
Yeah.
about that for a second.
Yeah, no.
Okay,
Real
I-
cliffhanger, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, huge cliffhanger. But that, look, hey,
Nobody's listening anyway.
yeah,
Nobody's
no,
there.
they're all listening. But anyways, that's it for us, guys. Love you guys. Take care.
Take care.
But I've been thinking of the way you felt when you watched me rolling over the horizon line like we're lightning. It hasn't rained for a long time, but you know it's on the way.